Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to share my process on how I created a brand guideline document for a client of mine who runs a construction tech company. Now if you're a designer, you want to level up, this is a service I think you should add to your process because it's going to help your clients be more consistent with their branding, and it's also a way for you to add extra services and make more money as a designer. Alright guys, let's get into the video. So the first thing is the cover page. So like any branding project, it's kind of important for you to sell the document or whatever you're presenting with a strong cover page, just highlighting what the brand is kind of about. So I decided to use an image of a building, just showing that the brand is strongly related to construction and home development. Next, it's ideal for you to have a content or a table of content page just to outline the different sections of the document. So whoever is going through it has an idea of the entire scope of it. And next is the about us page. So this is where you should just put down a brief description of what the company is about. So in my case, it was on construction tech, home development, and providing research and development services for businesses. So it's ideal for you to also maybe add any extra details. In my case, Tsari is actually a Hausa word meaning shelter. So any hints that will just explain more about the brand is important for you to put it in these initial stages. Also, your images and your layout should be strong, and is also another opportunity for you to make the document more easier to navigate. So I put a number at the top right for the pages. Now the next page, still more on the brand, the mission, and just exploring more of the visuals. You can see I tried to bring in a couple of colors at the bottom. We already introduced blue, so just showing some more colors on the brand. So each section has a custom feel to it. So just before you enter a section, I created this layout and duplicated it across just to improve the aesthetics and the visual perception of the document. So moving into the logo section, so on the right, I just tried to show how the logo can be used in different cases on different backgrounds, and also put some matching text to it on the left. So it's essential for you to clearly explain how the logo can be used. So I used blue, orange, and black backgrounds, and also on white background, this is how the logo can be used as well. This is very, very important within your brand identity guideline documents. Also, it's important for you to kind of show the safe area. So usually when you're constructing a logo, you might have kind of a fixed width or height that you're working with. So in this case, I recommending that the spacing should be two times of that gap, just to make sure that the logo is not crowded in any area, and to make sure it also works well in real life situations. So always essential to make sure that your supporting text is explaining whatever visuals you are showcasing on the right. And also it's important for you to show how the logo can work in different variations. It could stand alone as an icon, it could be horizontal, it could be vertical. And also the word mark again is kind of strong because I use the custom font, and we'll go into that later. But this section is very important because the logo is going to work on small sizes like a social media icon, and on a large size like a banner or a billboard. And also looking at do's and don'ts, I think this is an important section you should have in your brand guideline document as well, just explaining how the logo can be used and cannot be used, just to ensure that any other incoming designer or marketing manager knows how the logo is to be used in different cases. It also helps in brand consistency. And again, this is just another section introducing the colors. So that same custom layout, I just switched the background just to make sure things are not too predictable within the document. Also the numbers at the top right of the page for easy navigation. So here just showcasing the color palette, and it's important for you to show the RGB values, CMYK, and the hex code for each color, just to ensure that the colors work perfectly both on digital and on print. And looking at the typography, So I used Kanit, and it's a Google font, which I'm going to link in the description. And it's also essential just to show how the font works in different weights, just so it's clear to see that the font is legible across different weights. And for photography, so this section, I just try to highlight that the brand should focus on using clean images and also strive to use images of dark skinned people, because that's the target market of the project. A lot of brands will kind of expand on this section, but because of the size of the project, these images were easy enough to capture the idea we had in mind. And looking at the identity and use, this is the section where you just visualize a couple of mock-ups and any other print materials you want to showcase or that the brand would potentially use. So you can see a poster, just a couple of stationery items, a brochure, a vertical billboard, just various areas that the brand can explore. A simple website landing page, still more stationery, social media items, and a logo that could be printed on a building. Alright, guys, so that's just the brief overview of how you can structure your brand guidelines. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate the views. We are almost on 2,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and stay creative. Bye bye.